Can you guys hear me?
Azali, you can help us. Mr. Joof, we are live.
Yes, can you guys hear me? Good morning. Good morning.
Hello, Mr. Joof.
Yes, I am talking. I am talking. I said good morning.
I
Can you
don't think
guys
he's
hear me?
getting us. Yes.
I can get you and I am talking. Can you guys hear me?
No.
Well, I was talking. I am hearing you and I could talk. I was talking too. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
We can hear you now. Yes. So they feel blue. Yes. We can hear you now, Mr. Joof.
Yes, yes. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Hope all of you are doing fine.
Yes, we are all doing good.
Yes, sorry for
I'm
the
doing.
late start of this class again. As I always say, it's usually a lot of inconvenience for me. When Yashek was calling me back to back, I was in the middle of my sleep, and it's a big jihad, I believe, to cut the sleep just to have this class. Nonetheless, I will do it because I want to see a professional um, team of journalists who actually know what they are doing. It's a commitment that I make. As tough as it may be, I will continue to champion it. I appreciate all of you folks showing up for the class. It is important that we do so because every time we come, we are going to learn new skills. It is important that you are empowered with the knowledge and skills you need, as we are always labeled Gambian journalists. We are called join the list by a lot of critics, especially those who disagree with us in the way we do things sometimes. Today, we are going to focus on a couple of things. One is the rainy season. Um, a lot of damages are happening. I hope that none of you is affected directly by the rains and the winds yesterday, as far as destruction of property or having casualties or family members being affected or displaced by the rain. I hope all of you are fine. Alhamdulillah, that's good to hear. Um, we feel sorry for people who have been displaced or affected by the rain. And number two, we um, are in solidarity with them. It's a tough moment. Rainy season in Gambia can be very chaotic. However, it is no reason for us not to be able to come for our training or to work or fulfill our responsibilities. Yes, it can be tough to have transportation. We are aware of it, and that is why we need to accommodate and give room for this at an earlier possible time, which is to go out. If it takes you 2 hours to get to the office normally, you can cater for another hour just to make sure that you make it, especially if there are appointments that you have that you need to fulfill, whether it is appointment for meetings, appointment for coverages, or to have your show, etc., etc. The other thing I would want to say before it skips my mind that is very important is to encourage all of you to go out there and register to vote. If you have not registered yet, I would believe that all of you are 18 and over. And at this point, it is very important that you have a voter's card, starting from Fatu Samba, going down to Ida, and the rest of all of you. If you are not yet registered, I encourage you. It's a very important process that you participate in because your vote is your voice and you will be affected. So ngeen déggee ñuy wax yu fi rainy season and how terrible it looks in the country. So fekkee ne nit yi seen bagage yi ñu ngi yaaxu, there is no proper transportation system in the country. A road network bi yéen a ma ko gën a xam. I remember in 2017 when I was in Gambia, time in Nawet Lawon. In fact, right now I keep having those memories sent back to me by Facebook every single time because Funeka, Besi state broadcaster with them na be bunti GRTS ñu invite ma fofu to have a show. Ma sante be ye geja mata yet and I have to take off my stuff just because of how terrible it looked in front of GRTS with water being stagnant water before sandals la on sol. I have to take off my clothes, duga GRTS to get into the bathroom to change into my clothes I was going to wear to do my interview. A similar thing happened when I went to Paradise and different other places, whether for interviews or to carry out personal business or otherwise. Dëkk bi ni mel garaaw na. We cannot leave it to politicians to continue to fake us or tell us things that they don't deliver on. I am not telling anybody which party you need to vote for. All I am telling you is go get a voter's card. It doesn't matter how inconvenient or how hard it is. Get a voter's card. Look at the party that represents your interests, that you think will represent the interests of the greater good of Gambians, majority of the Gambians, who have the policies and programs and will touch the lives of the people and change it to the better. How long is the Gambia going to continue to be at this level? How long are we going to continue to be here, to be doing the same thing, to be going through the same thing, to suffer when it comes to education, when it comes to health? How is this when it comes to security and safety of the country? How secure is the country? How safe is the country? Which politician will be able to facilitate this for us, to be able to give us a secure Gambia? Of course, we will be making a mistake or thinking that we will have a violent-free or a crime-free country, but at least it should be controlled and minimized. No country in the world is crime-free. But we look at health sector. Gambia lan lañ am. Every day people are contacting us about needing urgent treatment abroad because mënuñ leen a faj Gambia. Just this week, right? I think one or two people already contacted me. I linked them up with Fatou pour ñu dem ñu interview leen pour ñu sàkku ndimbal pour dem abroad. So it's very important that you all get registered to vote. I know it can be a lot of inconvenience, but your vote counts. Don't think it doesn't. You are denying yourself your right that is guaranteed to you or given to you by the Constitution of the Gambia. So please, let's register to vote. It's very important that we do so, and we encourage folks around us to register and vote. So 2 days more, stay elect Sunday is the last day, and I wish that all of you register. Again, I would not tell any of you which party you are going to vote for, but all I need or would encourage you to do is to register to vote. Any questions, comments, or concerns on that? Okay. That said, I have a couple of topics in mind, but I can still open it up to folks to decide. Any of you have any specific questions, comments, concerns, topic that you would want us to discuss? It's been a minute, at least a couple of weeks, we didn't have a class. The class is important, and I always encourage all of you to attend it because every single time you do, you will learn something new. You will be exposed to something that would add value to your career as a media personnel. So, any of you have any question, comment, concerns, or specific topic you want us to discuss today?
Hello, Mr. Joof.
Yes, yeah, sure.
My suggestion is to discuss about voter registration process, the responsibility of journalists in voter registration process. If that can be, we discuss about that.
Voter registration process.
Yes, the responsibility of journalists
Mhm.
in voter registration process, like our responsibility towards this.
Voter registration or the election process in general?
Yeah, voter registration and the perhaps election in general. Yes, because we are heading to that.
Yes, indeed. I said I have a topic in mind, and that's certainly one of the topics. The fact that we are in election season, and I was going to touch on the voter registration and everything else, the responsibility that we have. That's one of the topics I have in mind, actually. But any other suggestion? Anybody else wants us to talk about anything? I cannot hear the person. Take the mic. Take the mic.
Mr. Joof,
Uh-huh.
naka suba si. Last time da nga waxoon ne dañoo waxtaane te mbiri tabaski bi.
Okay. That's very important. And it's indeed one of the things that I was going to just briefly mention.
Ñun nag amaguñ xar de.
Mm. Saren di yow lekk rek. Mm. Yéen waa Baara ngeen suñ amutee xar rek ñu dem ci géej gi nappi ñu dem nappa jën I wish ma mënoon na tabaski jën. Mm. Any other suggestion? Tabaski and elections. Two suggestions. Any other suggestion? Feel free to talk. I want you guys to talk, please. Your ideas are very important. I want this to be interactive. It's a family thing, so I appreciate all of you raising your voices or saying something. In fact, that
Okay.
would make me not to sleep. Mangi Obagumanto is 4 a.m. So if you guys talk, it will make me not to sleep.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Youth. It's Aminata that was speaking.
Yes,
Okay, my
Aminata.
suggestion is like what Sirif just said is very important because one lady came out and she was like, let Gambians not disturb the foreigners, like they are going place to place checking like who is Gambians and who is not a Gambian. So she said like that our young boys are out there, they are all there to look for a like citizenship of America or Italy or whatever place you are. So she said that let Gambia not disturb, like telling the Senegalese are participating in our distant voter registration. Let us stop that. And also, we have to talk about our presidential election coming because I had also Baba Ja is like lawyer Dabo su president of the Gambia dafa nekk doomital. Yeah, something like that is very, it's very terrible dal. If you want to vote, so you will not vote because people are coming out saying different kind of words. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Are you talking about Fatu Jaumane's post here?
Yes, Fatu Jomane, yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your suggestion. Next person. I
Mr. Joof,
appreciate your comment.
she said she will not vote.
Yes, I will not vote.
Well,
I have a voter's card, but I will not vote.
I want to encourage you and all of you to vote. You know, we have to lead by example, and you will be preventing yourself a right that is yours. Vote, vote, and vote. If Gambia can do it in 2016 to change Yaya Jammeh from take Yaya Jammeh out of power, it can tell you that your power, your vote counts. If America can take out Donald Trump in 2016, it can tell you that your vote counts. Remember, Gambia has a simple majority voting system. And what that means is whoever wins by even one vote, we are still going by the 1997 constitution, which means that whoever wins, even if you win with one vote, you become the president of Gambia. So if you Aminata Dabo,
Yes.
if the contest was going to be between, let's say, um, Musa Ali Bachili and BB Dabo, I will not even mention all the biggest parties that may come to some of this new. If it was going to be between BB Dabo and Musa Ali Bachili, and they all have 45 votes, if Aminata Dabo votes for BB Dabo, don't you think who is going to win?
Bibi Daw.
Yes, you become the tiebreaker right there. You become the tiebreaker. So your vote is very important. Even if the person wins by one vote, they become the leader. Now, if we were to have the second round of voting, it becomes a different story where we have 50 or more percent. Whoever wins would need 50 or more percent of the vote. That's where coalition is going to happen. And if you see Gambia have all these political parties lately, that is what they were anticipating. A good number of them, Bulen Fogg, Gomuñ Dara, they just wanted to be able to have a piece of the pie. They want to make sure, okay, if a second round of voting comes, I have a party, I will be called to the table, and eventually I can be offered a ministerial position, or I'll bargain to have this or to have that. So please, Aminata, I want to encourage you to vote. Do not vote, all of you, do not vote based on tribe, do not vote based on religion, do not vote based on kinyo bokali wala nyo bokalele. I can guarantee you that if anybody you vote for goes to the state house, duñ leen tal lu si bari, your issues will remain your issues. All the challenges you have will continue to be your challenges. All our challenges will continue to be our challenges. Very little will be done about it. It is sad that in 21st century, Gambia does not have like anything that we can brag of for the most part. We are 50 years behind the whole world, and you would only know this if you travel. Just yesterday evening, I went out with my family and we got on the ferry. My mom could not believe that this is a ferry. She could not believe that this is a ferry. How effective and efficient it is, how structured and organized it is, how big it is, how clean it is, how fast it was. It has a restaurant on top of it. It has a waiting room. It has several chairs where people can sit. It's very organized, where the people go in through and where the um, 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 cars go in are completely different. Unlike Banjul Bara, where if you are getting in the ferry, you are scared of the vehicles coming in and the people coming in and how people they squeeze each other in it. If you travel, it's when you know that Gambia is behind 50 or 100 years. And all these politicians, duñ leen musa faale ñu si bari si ñoom. When they sit, that's gonna be the last time. So if you vote because somebody is your neighbor, you vote for somebody because they are your same tribe, you will be making a mistake. So I want to encourage you, Aminata, and all of you to register and vote based on what you hear them say. Give every party the opportunity to listen to them. At least that's what you can do for yourself. You are not doing it to others. If you only believe in APRC and you only go to APRC rally or listen to APRC alone, you will be making a mistake. You need to listen to all the political parties and what they have to say, and then you make a judgment of who you think what they say they are going to do for the Gambia is better. Not only what they are going to do, but how they are going to do it. So that is what I would advise. Now, coming to link that up with our role as media, it's very important. Our role as media is extremely, extremely, extremely important because we serve as the voices of the people. Anybody else had something they wanted to say before we proceed to that?
Okay, Mr. Joof man la Awa Sow.
Okay, our
Ok, lu ma bëggoon laajte mooy ndax journaliste moom war na wone parti bu mu far si wàllum politique.
thank you very much. It's a very important question. mun naay wax yes, mun naay wax no, because journalist dafa am citoyen la, citizen la, before mu nekk journalist. Remember, you are a citizen first before you become a journalist. You have your responsibility as a citizen. If you are an ordinary person that you're sitting there using your own personal time, having time with your family, with your friends, or whatever, you can do whatever you need to do that is under the confinement of the law. And that includes, if you want, participating in political activities, whether directly or directly, whether um, uh, um, uh, openly or secretly, covertly or otherwise. Des na si yow pour nga wane ko. Would I do it? No. Is it professional in my view? No. Because if you are a journalist or a public figure, you are already looked at, and anything you say or do can be construed, can be interpreted to be the policy of your institution. Man Mr. Joof léegi lépp lu ma def nit ñi dañ koy xoolee Gambian Talents, even su fekkee ne on a personal basis laa ko def sax amul benn connection ak Gambian Talents, people will associate it to Gambian Talents. Anything I do is perceived to be the policy of Gambian Talents. Gis ngeen lu waa Gambian Talents def, gis ngeen luñ wax, gis nañ kuñ li, oh boo si Gambian Talents di. Now, if you declare your position openly and you end up having an encounter, whether that favors or goes against a particular political party, nga ñëw am an encounter ak party boobu noonu, it will be seen as it is biased. It will be seen as it is pre-cooked. Loo toggala, loo buga mu xew la, nangam ak nangam. We see it all the time. So I don't recommend it. I will not do it. But is it your right? Yes. Is it wrong or illegal? No. Is it unethical? That's debatable. If you are an ordinary person, because you have two caps. Remember, you have your cap as a journalist, you have your cap as an ordinary citizen. Su la neexee nga génn si soo nekkutee di practice as a journalist, takka sa ndiga dem ci campaign trail bi and yata yumbe feature, join all the things that you need to do. If you are APRC back in the days, nga dem bokk ci lifin bi ñu yata yumbe kumbo, we need yaya, we don't need old pa, we need yaya, we don't need ngeen feature lifin. If you are UDP su la neexee ngeen nekk fa lawyer Darboe Bankota nga bokk ci lawyer Darboe Bankota googu ngeen taa banko gi def lu leen neex yépp. As an ordinary citizen, you have the right to do so. But do I recommend it? No, because it can interfere with your integrity. It can interfere with your process. So demee foofu nga we need yaya, we don't need old pa ngeen def loolu noonu yépp ba mu neex leen. Then the next day nga ñëw toog the interview Yaya Jammeh. People will look at you. There would be a lot of credibility issues. So ñëwee toog the interview Lawyer Darboe, anything you say, it can be seen as danga nekk di bias. Su fekkee ne yaa ngi interview the opposition. I don't declare who I will vote for. I don't encourage people, or I'm living openly. Can I do my little thing, endorse somebody, support somebody, si suuf, even campaign for them, si suuf? Yes, because that is me. It's my right, just like it is all of you guys' right. So talking about the any further loolu answer na sa question bi Awanda?
Wow.
Okay, any question, comments or concerns?
Bintu Singate wants to say something.
Okay,
Mr. Joof.
yes, Bintu.
Okay, what I want to say is like as a journalist, when you have your platform and also you invite a guest and the guest started insulting someone or saying horrible things about that person, should you let the person continue with the insult, or you should do something maybe to change the topic?
That was the reason why
Yeah.
I was gonna come up with this issue of election,
Yeah.
because we have all seen what happened with
Yeah.
Babaja and lawyer Useno Dabo over the weekend.
Yes.
And the narrative has changed, or it is affecting the country right now, leading to the UDP folks, of course, having a rift between them and the Fatu network and asking for them to apologize and, I mean, boycotting and all of these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not only are we talking about election alone,
Mhm.
but generally, we as journalists, we are the boss when we do interviews or we have a platform. I
Yeah.
remember Fatu Samba saying this to you guys on multiple times. I have also said it to you guys. We are in charge. Ñun ñooy boss bi. We are responsible for what is happening.
Mhm.
And one of the key things that you guys all need to write down is that we have a responsibility as journalists to be able to maintain the peace and security of the country. We are not supposed to be aiding and abetting or facilitating or giving the platform for any individual to say something that will be destabilizing the peace and security of the country. Suñ responsibility la pour ñu make sure that uh, tranquility remains in the country. This is what we owe to our people. We are the servants of the people. We are the voices of the people. Anything that would destabilize the country, you can even be charged actually if you do so, if it leads to violence. And that is why, after the 3 years journey, the government alleged and claimed that King FM and Membe Kering or Home Digital FM with Pamudu Bojang were making comments that were going to destabilize the country. New charge lane, tier lane, take lane. Because inside men, lane inside violent. Sidekabi. So as journalists, we are supposed to be responsible on our platforms. Yes, we control the narrative. It's unfortunate that our people among a lot of substance, and instead of arguing um, based on policies, we are always arguing based on individual character assassination, personality attack, instead of talking about what is relevant to the issues, focusing on the issues and centered on the issues.
Yeah.
This is coming from all camps, Nak, and it's rather unfortunate, especially coming from NPP and UDP and some APRC. I say it as it is. Barki de Mbarek on Sunday, I want to encourage all of you. I'm not sure if you stumbled on my video or you watch it. I did a video. I said if Gambia is to turn into flames, so Gambia take with this election here, it's UDP and NPP. And I stand by that. Did any of you see that video?
Yeah.
Yes, if you listen to the rhetorics that are spewed and championed by these two parties, it scares you. And it's on both sides now. Yes, why UDP left and right? Ñu ngi def loolu. Why NPP left and right? Ñu ngi def loolu. And you have people that you would not say is the executive members of these parties that are doing it. No, that is not something we can claim. But you have folks that are very close to the party executive, who the party executives are endorsing. You can hear them saying a lot of bombshells and words attacking each other left and right. I said it in my video. The reality is, one like Mamadou Sabali is not an executive member of UDP, but very close to the executive, and the party leader and secretary general lawyer Usain Odabo calls him the commando. He promoted him to his commando. Mamadou Sabali is always talking a lot of, saying a lot of things about President Adama Barrow. The same Fatu network that Baba just sat on, Mamadou Sabali goes there. These platforms invite them to be bumping heads and be talking about this thing. Kilila Wakio, Kilila Wak, Kilila Wak. They are always back and forth. The same Fatu network would invite Ahmed Gite to come and say a lot of the things that he will say about Baba, lawyer Usain Dabo. They will invite Babaja to come and say the same thing. They'll invite Njaimane on the other hand. Different people come there, whether it's on this platform or any other platform, to actually talk about these things, to be attacking each other. It's not right. It's not okay. We should be debating on issues. And that is why it is important for journalists to have your set of questions. It's important that you do research and understand when we talk to you. I have trained you on doing research, the importance of doing research and how to do research. Do any of you remember that?
Yeah.
Yes. That's why you need to do research. That's why you need to have the issues. That's why you need to have your set of questions. Just yesterday, I interviewed a councillor from Farafenni ward, and I was very focused in the question that I have to ask him. And the interview was mostly focused on issues. Do I interview people in which they talk about personalities sometimes? Yes, I would not say that we don't do that, but it should not be the focus of things. And it should be based on facts, though. It should be based on facts. If it is going to destabilize the country, you have a key responsibility there to make sure that it is stopped, to make sure you redirect your guests, to make sure you stay focused with your guests. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. So, any other question or comments on
Our
that?
child used to say something.
Mr. Youth,
Uh-huh.
this is our jam. I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to know the difference between a journalist and an activist.
Good one. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, a journalist is a professional, should be a professional that is guided by principles and ethics to serve as the voice of the people, to disseminate information in a fair and balanced manner without fear or favor. Somebody who goes to dig deep, somebody who goes to investigate. Momen kata kisi kisi rola, kuidem di gesto, pour ham the facts to bring out to the public without fear or favor, affection or ill will. Somebody does not look at moña kono kurut xool ci boti ken whether mbokam la or whatsoever. I encourage all of you to watch my interview with Papa Tunkara yesterday. You will not see anywhere in any shape or form where I established a relationship with Papa. I grilled him very well, asked him a lot of important questions, including accusing of folks who would accuse him of being a tribalist and taking projects to the wall of concentrated areas instead of to the Mandinka or other parts. I asked him several questions about the issues surrounding their council and things that they can do to improve the Farafenni community, corruption related issues. I challenge him as the head of the finance committee of the Kerawan Area Council of the amount of money that they are receiving monthly. Are they using it to pay their salaries and staff alone instead of concentrating on the needs of the community and the people that they are supposed to serve? You go to the people and collect NAMO from them, and all you do with that NAMO is just to pay your staff. Mayambalit pur bubko. People are having difficulty and struggling with it. I put him on the spot very well. Do you know that this Papa Tunkara is my brother? I am from Farafenye, Suma Kotola. Momak suma brother sinyo dan anda. Magra kam aida Tunkara nyo bokon class in Farafenye. You would not see that in there a bit. That is what a journalist is supposed to do. You are supposed to be independent. Amut fen fumako oye koto. Amut fen fumako neke di established that he is my colleague, he is my brother, he is this, he is that. You can watch the interview, go back and watch it. I really put him on the spot. So a journalist is supposed to be that person who will dig to look for information to bring out to the public without fear or favor. affection or ill will. It doesn't matter how much the issue affect you. It doesn't matter whether you like it or not. If somebody comes and is saying something about your political party and what they are saying is the let it out. That is a journalist. You are supposed to be fair and balanced. Viper, Skinny Boy Fly. Do you guys know him? Viper, the singer or the rapper. He is my cousin, first cousin for that matter. One of the people who was doing the show that Sisao is doing, the celeb clip, Hadiso, interviewed Viper, in which Viper was saying so many things about me because he wasn't happy with me as his cousin, and several other reasons. When he interviewed Hadiso interviewed him, he was on fire about me and saying a lot of negative things about me, most of which are even not true. They were scared to edit it, and to bring it out. When they told me, I said, do not take out anything he said. It's his opinion about me. Are you sure, Mr. Joof? I said, yes, as long as it's respected. So, as a journalist, you are supposed to be fair and balanced, regardless of people's opinion about you. And that is why, if you look on our post, if you look on our page, if you look on our media house, you always see people saying several things about us in a lot of situations, whether they got or wrong. It's their opinion. Should we condone saga ak haste? No, but it's the order of the day. So that is the journalist. You are supposed to be able to dig and look for information for the public in a fair and balanced way and give it to them. Who is the activist? The activist could be the opposite, because the activist is somebody that is advocating for something, and that's one thing. So the activist is biased in what they are looking for because they only want one thing done. The activists will come and say, um, vote for Dr. Ismail Assise. And that is all they want. Advocate for people to vote for Dr. Ismail Assise. And they will follow Dr. Ismail Assise. We say no to deportation. That's an activist. Do not deport our people. It doesn't matter what it is. Even ki deport should a criminal la sax dafa def lu wrong sax. The activist is only saying no to deportation. Out ki deport lum def buguñ koñ deport period. Mañan na mol deport la. The activists, for the most part, of course, will be biased in their analysis. Liñ buga rek ak liñ fogg. I'm not saying that activists do wrong things. They can champion a positive cause, and most activists, matter of fact, champion positive causes, things that they believe in, things that they believe are in accordance with the law. If a law is broken, they want that fixed. If politicians and other people are not doing in positions of power, are not doing what they're supposed to do, activists come and champion them and put pressure on them. Like right now, the civil society are coming out. They are activists, civil society organizations, CSOs. They are activists. They are coming out, a good number of them, in their numbers, and uh, urging the government of the Gambia to respect and implement the entire recommendation of the um, TRRC. They are coming out and saying it. They are coming out and condemning what's happened. So the activist is only bent on one side for the most part, what they want. Liñ buga rek pour mu xew. In journalism, or as a journalist, it's not what you want. It's about what is right. What is right, what is fact, is what you are supposed to present to the people. The facts. Is the fact usually the truth? No. I would not hesitate to say that the facts may not be the truth. What do you understand that to mean? The facts may not be the truth, but your responsibility as a journalist is to bring out the facts. Anybody can try. What do I mean when I say the fact may not be the truth?
All right, it's serious. For example, if somebody said something about another person,
Mhm.
whether it is true or not, as a journalist, when you are informing the public about it, you should explain it or narrate it exactly the way the person says it, whether it is true or not. So that is the fact. It might not be the truth sometimes.
Yes. Any other try?
Monsieur Diouf man ni ma ko déggee mooy comme nit ki du loo dégg rek da nga war a jàpp ne loolu dëgg la il faut yow tam nga def say gëstu ba xam ndax li nga dégg loolu la wala du loolu parce que du information yëpp ñooy nekk li nga xam ne dëgg lay doon.
Good try. Any other try?
Just to add on what Shirif said, like if someone said something and if you are reporting that thing, you should say like according to that person. You should not say like straight, but you should say it according to that person, what that person said, even it's true or
Yes.
false.
Yes. So that is why when we report, we use words like allegedly, supposedly, and I think we've had a training on this, and I've given you guys some words that you can use. Do you remember that? Some words that you can use, such as allegedly, supposedly, and I said it in different languages. Ci niñ ko déggee, liñ ñu jot a wax, si liñ xam, liñ suñu gestu jox, from what we have found out, what investigation revealed, what experts said. These are some words that you can use according to experts, what we have found out from our investigation. These are the type of words that you can use when you talk about that. So when we say allegedly, when we say that the facts may not be the truth, is exactly what Sirif and them said. Our foofu ñu ngi wax ne li xew ak liy dëgg am na yenn temps duy nekk benn. Li xew ak liy dëgg yenn yi duy nekk benn. Ñun li xew rek lañ war a wax. Wera dëgg la wala du dëgg lu xew loolu lañu liggéey bi laaj pour ñu wax. Su fekkee ne nag as long as it does not destabilize or jeopardize the stability of the country, of the people, it does not interfere with the peace and security of the country, we should be able to concentrate on it and say it as it is. Because loolu la nit ñi war a xam. And that is why sometimes the reports change. We can go to for example Mandoir, ñu ne dañ attaque alkali Mandoir Touba mbéj ko. That is what we hear originally. That is what we should report because that's the information we are getting. According to the information we are getting, according to the villagers directly, Mandoir Touba dañ mbéj seen alkali bi. Arrest nañ 5 youths of Mandoir Sose o Mandoir di yóbbu nañ ko Mandinka yóbbu nañ leen police. This is the report we are hearing. Now if we go to the police station, we can hear something different. It might be they arrested 3 Mandoir Wolof, 2 Mandoir Sources. It might be true ne the alkali in fact of Mandoir Wolof moom mbéj the alkali of Mandoir Touba. We should change the report and say that this is what we heard originally, but right now this is what we are hearing. So it's okay for us to change our positions based on the current facts and realities. As media houses, we have that responsibility to make sure that we give people facts, and the facts may not be the truth. But what are we after? The truth. We should continue to dig. Ben xam fan la dëgg bi féete. We should be continue to able to give the public fan la dëgg bi féete. I'll give a typical example. When I interviewed Papa Tunkara yesterday, I asked him, some reports came to me from my investigation before I interviewed him, that when he was campaigning, there is a part of Farafenye called Murtani that he was advocating for those people. Now, when he contests, Sutoge, Mom did not advocate for Murtani am saying own alcalo, for them to have their own alcalo. I questioned him on this, and he denied it. He said it has never happened. After the interview, folks reached out and sent messages to suggest otherwise, to say in fact that has happened. People from Multani, elders from Multani has mobilized themselves to actually become to show that they want to be Nakalenko Oye, they want to have their own alcalo and stuff. So the facts can change. The facts can change. It's important that we know Nation role is just to give the facts as it is. It doesn't matter how much you like or hate the facts, they should remain the fact. As a journalist, fact be rek nga war a wax waruloo kóoteel benn information. If your father steals, your father steals. If your brother rapes, your brother rapes. If your auntie gets pregnant, your auntie gets pregnant. If your mom is corrupt, your mom is corrupt. It doesn't matter what your relationship with the person is. You should not curtail information because you believe that this is something that is going to or family la suma ko defee dafa yàqa du nice to lii du lele. Now you should be able to give the information as it is, as perfect and as accurate as possible. Any other question, comment, or concerns on that before I move on to Sirif's what Sirif say? Any question? Anyway, I see a comment from Alasan Ba who is watching. Say good afternoon, Mr. Joof. This is Alasan Ba. I'm watching the meeting live. I do not come to class today because of circumstances. Thanks. I will listen and contribute. Jërëjëf Alasan suñ Paul bi. Alaji Tiana say I want to take part in your course. Well, this is Gambian Talents Promotion on Gambian Talents TV. We are on an open enrollment. If you are interested in becoming a member of the team, come to our office at Westfield to collect a form, pick up a form and submit it. And as we go through shortlisting for a new badge, we will look at the forms and give different people chances. We are here to empower the young people, and the course is for free of charge. I mean, you can call 7833-524, 7833-524 to participate in it. Whether you want to participate in this class is a different story. It's not open for the public. It is internal, but the public can benefit from what we are discussing. Any other question, comments, concerns? Rocky Miraki.
Yes.
Nunala. Why did you come late?
Due to some circumstance.
Hmm?
I did not join the first phase, so I
No, okay.
in about second phase, so
Mm.
Perry just left and they want to come back. So
Use the mic. I can barely hear you.
The mic is
I mean, I had to join the first ferry board, which I did not make it, and
Okay.
so I had to wait the another ferry, which takes lot like I can say 2 hours before the ferry arrived at Barrows.
Exactly what I was saying earlier before you came. I gave an example of that. You guys remember? I gave an example of the ferry when my mom and I went to the ferry yesterday and how efficient, how fast it is. The distance we rode is like Banjul and Bara, but within 10, 12 minutes, we have already crossed over to the other side of the island where we were going yesterday, and that is efficiency. And those are the reasons why you need to vote and vote wisely. Are the people in power doing that? Are they taking care of our needs? Those that are gonna come, that are all in the field. ñoom ñi ngeen bu yëpp bugg a ñëw boore pour del suñ dëkk bi. Are they ready for prime time? Are they ready to change the country? That's what you should consider when you vote. Thank you. Now, talking about the registration, just like any other process, we as journalists, we owe it to the people. We are the eyes, and I want you to write that down. I've said it before. We are the eyes of the public. We are the ears of the public. We are the mouth of the public. ñun ñooy boti askan bi, ñun ñooy gémmiñi askan bi ñun ñooy noppi askan bi nte lemu mool ñaati nte lemu mool tulolti nte lemuy daati fana liñ munta wax si ñun lañ ko waxee liñ bëgguta wax si ñun lañ ko waxee liñ ñemeñuta wax si ñun lañ ko waxee. So we are the mouth of the public, we are the eyes of the public, and we are the ears of the public. We owe it to the public to feed them with accurate, factual information at every point. We will be betraying a trust. We will be betraying our profession. We will be betraying ourselves if we are curtailing information, if we are not participating in these processes. Voter registration, Dorna, we've been very busy. A lot of you went to get voters card. Did you bring any information out? I remember during last class or the one before that, I also revealed some information. I remember Alasan that was just texting, revealed some information about a woman who was talking about the voter registration. We have a role in it. We need to be able to monitor the situation. Unfortunately, it's almost finished. Did we even have a report or two about the voter registration? Did we go to the registration centers to see what is happening there? Did we have forums where we invite different stakeholders to come and talk about the voter registration, to educate the public about it? It's important. We need to do research and we need to know and be aware of these things first before we can tell anybody. Balanga digle sango na nga feka nga set yow sa bopa. Na feka nga set yow sa bopa. So we owe it to ourselves to have voters cards first as journalists. And we need to be there to know the struggles that people are going through, to know the challenges, to know the loopholes, to know what is working and what is not working. How is the process going? We need to understand the whole process and what it brings and what it comes along with. It's very important. Once we do, we will be able to hold the system accountable. It's been talked about. You talk dig see WhatsApp messages at different places. People talking about okay, foreigners. Foreigners waruñoo sànni carte suñ dëkka. Foreigners waruñoo sànni carte suñ dëkka. That is misleading. That is misleading. And I know some of you are confused, right? When I said that. Babukar Pane just sent a message. Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Joof. I am watching. I heard someone say if we vote for UDP, Gambia dafa neka doom. Degala kai. Let us vote for others like Khalifa and Dr. Ismail Assise. That's somebody establishing their opinion there and their right. But when I say if we vote for foreigners, if we say waruñoo foreigners waruñoo vote waruñoo am suñ voters card, you see, we need to be able to distinguish when we use language. If we say if there is a foreigner in Gambia who came and they naturalized and they follow all the procedures that the law allowed them and they end up becoming Gambian citizens and have our documents in a legal and legit way, can that foreigner not vote? This would bring me to what Aminata Dabo was saying with Fatu Jaumane and stuff. There is a great element of truth in what Fatu Jaumane said. Do I condone everything she's saying, or should we wait till now to bring that topic up? Or the way that they want to do it with my analysis, the president and his clique, Nyom Fatu Jaumane and all of them, what they are advocating for the most part is for us to be able to have allow non-Gambians who are not qualified to have our national document to end up having it. That's not okay. That part I am not agreeing with. It should not be done now. It should not be done because it's election period. But if a foreigner comes to the Gambia, they live there, they follow all the necessary steps that would allow them to become citizens. As Fatu Jaumane stated, she's very right that those of us over here, we have American citizenship. We have American residency. Some of us have work permits here. Some of us are illegal. Ku amut kate, amulo even a work permit. Dafulo jine japut la ngene danga dem ne danga participate ci election in America. It's not okay. It's not done. Dafulo, you'll be breaking a law. So MSC, I'm just a workers authorization or work permit. Dafulo jine japut la inyama mai ko kata register like a vote American fenkodo. Kude si marse ya tage sa bopa, dem nga register nga set, ya nge jox sa bopa nguri America. Den dañu jappa ñu deport la. Ku MC am a permanent residency, you are still not allowed to vote, eligible to vote in America. You are not. But guess what? If you have American citizenship, if you have followed a path to citizenship, you walk your way out. I mean, either through family support, either through the green card lottery, or either through the workers' visa. Anyhow, you come to America and you are able to follow all the necessary procedures and processes, and the American government end up making you a citizen, allowing you to naturalize and become an American citizen, and you have Kate. American citizenship document. Though a birth certificate, what you have is a certificate of naturalization, which you use to go acquire an American passport. And at that point, you become a citizen of America. Even though you are a foreigner, you can vote. And a lot of us here in America, Gambians, voted during the past presidential election. So Farida Omane is right when she says that. When she talks about how Gambians struggle here, I see myself in it because I used to be so scared of immigration. Immigration in America, man. I went to jail for 4 months. Do you guys know that? Yes, I was in jail in America. For breaking immigration laws. That was my only crime. Sachuma, tapaleuma, fenuma, njajuma, defuma anything. American immigration laws la bregon, and I was incarcerated for 4 months. They wanted to deport me at the time in 2008. The video is there on YouTube. You can go and watch it. I'm not shy or ashamed to say it. Am I proud of it? No. But it is what built me and made me who I am, and I wouldn't have changed a single thing if I am to find myself in that situation again. But she's right. We are foreigners and we vote here. So when I say that foreigners in Gambia can vote, yes, but not illegal foreigners, not foreigners who don't have any right, any privilege, any way to be able to vote. But ñu def njuuj njaaj tapale duku jaar si suuf use alkalos to provide them with attestations or whatsoever to have them to vote. That is not okay. And this is what has been happening from what we are hearing. We have heard voter registrations being done, voters card being given to people. I mean, during the former president's time, allegedly. We've heard that people from Casamas, with no tangible evidence for the most part, that people from Casamas used to come and participate in our elections and stuff. This is the information that we got. So should foreigners vote? Yes, but it should be foreigners who have rights. Should minors vote? No. That's another claim. So when we talk about the voter registration, these are the two malpractices that we are hearing there, or corruptions that we are hearing there, voter fraud that we are hearing, which is to issue either foreigners or non-Gambians who are not qualified to have our national document. We issue them with our national document. And and this is one of the questions that I even asked Papa Tunkara yesterday when I was interviewing him. Is very important. that we understand the processes and what is happening. They said minors are registering. People who are underage who don't even have 18 years. 18 is the legal age that you can get a voter's card for. So, ñi amut 18 years, ñu ngi leen a jox voters card just because they believe they want those people to be able to vote for their political parties. So, as journalists, these are the things that we need to be looking at. We need to be able to investigate these things and get facts. Get facts. The people that are going to register or at the registration centers, what are some of the things that they are saying? They say some alcalos are providing stamp. I mean, people are paying them for new stamp land. Any alcalo who does that is betraying the trust, and we as journalists have a responsibility to look into these things. We are supposed to serve as what? I told you three things earlier that we are supposed to serve that I said to write. What are they? Excuse me? Any other try?
We are the eyes of the people, the ears of the people, and the mouth of the public. Sorry.
Are we committed to the truth?
Yes. So therefore, any malpractice that we see about the voter registration, we should be able to report it. Any malpractice. We are told that alcalos are selling stamps. You go to the alcalo, give him $500. Is ile nyadi ini mbara tenen ten so at attestation la nyantara nakare la nyini la tenen ten alcalo be vetted la hamut appearance hamut ne finger judo whatsoever. Therefore, in the five elders or the number of elders that are said who can actually vet you to prove that you are a citizen or you were born here. Alcalo below la moli amulo birth certificate. They can give you an attestation. And this is one of the failures of the country, and this is where we are supposed to be. Fini, to just give comparison. When our kids are born, I have 3 kids. Somali, you feeling you know. Send birth certificate. You don't have anything to do with, for the most part. Soon judo, silopitan be immediately is where they are given their birth certificate process immediately. Immediately, they ask the parents, they give you forms to fill out. If you are not able to fill it, somebody comes and is able to fill it out. There's a system in place that makes these things impossible for one to come and do that. And this is one of the things I asked the councillor yesterday, and I received information later that people say accuse him of providing documentations or facilitating for non-Gambians to be able to, especially Senegalese, to be able to get our national documents. It is so cheap how somebody in Gambia can just buy a document. Do you guys believe that? Maybe Bintu Singate even have done so. Gone to, a place and just want something and you just pay somebody. Gambian passport, you want it, they say go and, if you pay 3,000, you have it in 2 days or 3 days or 1 week. But if you go and pay $1,000 or $500, is however much the passport costs, it takes you several months. So if you want to have the Gambian passport and you want it expedited, you just need to give out $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. A lot of people have driver's license that they never went to to get a test. You see why accidents are so many in the country. Do you agree that a lot of people pay money to get their driver's license without having to go to even get a driving test? Kumusuta dawal moto, musuta am moto. For the first time, mu am moto. Mu dem lijenti. Aya kisi until I mojo. Demot sah, the person don't even have to go. You just meet up with something right down there at Westfield, at a place at Westfield. Nga konte halis bi joko all your name, your date of birth, and all the information that need to go on a driver's license. Param, they make a driver's license for you and call you within 2 days. It's ready. You go pick it up. Koku su kose accident kan moko def? There is no system in place. My second child, when he was born, I was in Alaska, and my wife was in Atlanta at the time. My name wasn't there. They gave him his mom's last name because I needed to sign off on the document to say, ne, man my papa, ne kumafa. So santi yaayam lañ ko jox Seka lañ ko santale. Until I came to Atlanta, Mom and I went to the because when he was born at the hospital, I was in prison. Mom and I had to go to the vital statistics department. That's where you keep records of all the things. We went to the vital statistics department. Mom produced her document. I produced my document. We showed that I'm the father of the child, and then his name was officially changed to mine. The consumer don't be Sekala ko Santale. Sekala don Santa, I'm not Joof. There is a system in place. They process birth certificates right there at the hospital. You don't have much to do about it. But then in Gambia, that's different. People can come and duku anybody and get our national documents. It is so cheap to have the Gambian document, whether it is passport, whether it is ID card, whether it is birth certificate, anything you want from any department, any sector of the country, you can go and duku people. And guess what? Ñun journalists in Gambia, that's why we cannot go far, because we ourselves participate in these things. Wax leen ma rek duma ko wax kenn fay leen caméra yi tuuti ñu wax ko ci suuf ndax musu leen koo def wax leen rek kenn ci yéen musuta du ko dem lijjanti. None of you, all of you want to tell me you don't do, you don't lijjanti, you don't go about doing these things.
No,
Our jam. Look at the camera. Cameraman, zoom our charm. Let her tell the world. She's never done it. You've never done it.
no.
You've never legented any document. You've never done anything. Hmm? You go places, that's what it is. You don't bribe people, you don't have things that you are entitled to. That is your right, with all seriousness. And I can confidently say that this is why Gambian talents are Halis. That's why we are broke. Because we don't do that. Even here, people are supposed to give contracts to the media houses to do A, B, and C whatsoever. Folks will come and talk to you and say, oh, I can give you a contract and I want you to give us, 10%. We'll pay you and you bring out cash and give it to us. I don't succumb to any of those things. I don't agree or participate in any of their corruption stuff. So it's very important. Anywhere that money is to be made, we personalize it. We take it for our pockets. Behind public bit. And you see why we are behind. You see why a lot of things are not happening right. So this is why we need to vote and vote right. I asked the councillor that question again yesterday. I said, you guys are collecting NAMO or taxes from people. When you collect these taxes at the end of the day, how does it go? The people going to collect the taxes from people. They're doing them ticket bineka $15 and they take $10 from people and not give them a ticket. They do these things. So we are supposed to be the eyes and the ears and the mouth of the public at the voter registration centers to make sure that minors are not registered, to make sure that, non-qualified Gambians, non-Gambians, I would not use the word foreigners, but non-qualified Gambians, Gambians that are non-Gambians who are not qualified, illegal immigrants are not registered to vote, to interfere with our election. Gambians who disenfranchise themselves, Gambians who turn in their citizen. You can be a Gambian and you cannot vote. Do you know that?
No.
Yes. You know who? The Gambian who has a European passport from whichever European country that does not allow double citizenship or dual citizenship. In America, dual citizenship is allowed. Some countries in Europe don't allow dual citizenship. Gambians went to Europe and they change their status. They become citizens of other countries. And guess what? They are no longer Gambian citizens because they are forfeited their citizenship to another country. Those Gambians are not allowed to vote. But they may still keep their Gambian documents and use it whenever they want to use it. But they are not allowed to vote. They are not citizens of the Gambia anymore. Because they have forfeited their citizenship. They have given up their citizenship. So these are important things that we need to observe. Our role is to talk about these things. Our role is to expose the things, the ills that are happening. We are hearing reports of party militants having attestation or alcalo stamps to stamp for people. Our laws are even not strict. So, as journalists, we need to serve as the eyes and the ears of the people. Election is coming up. We are in the election season. It's a dangerous moment. It's going to be an unstable moment. We have a responsibility to provide coverage to the Gambian people. When it's dangerous, it's dangerous. We have to be able to show the Gambians that this is what is happening. We have to show the Gambians the facts. You've been trained on how to cover riots, demonstrations, and these dangerous moments, haven't you? I hope that we are able to participate in it. I hope that we don't run away, we don't betray our causes. Each of you are very active to do your thing. For Aminata Daboka Sanyo Chikandi and Insari but Nibe beyond the line killer. Mariama Fati Sunyo Sante Be Mata Gija, Suide Fashion Avenue, Walla Semester Avenue. Yusuf Andur is always beating his chest, Rocky me Rocky, Tai celebrate Laman Munumako Jotsa. All of you, been to sing Adana Kuno Nembi, Yakamting and talk Chikanami studio be def and living. It's not full for egg. Si election yele neka parallel duga ci bir ndox bi parallel get in the campaign trail parallel to be in the rallies. Be ready, be prepared. We will train you again after Tobaski. We'll have one more training, a refresher training about how to cover these dangerous moments. We owe it to the Gambian public to go out there, and this is how you learn. You will be betraying yourselves if you don't want to participate in it. It could be dangerous. Duñ leen nax. We are not going to set you up for failure. You need to be prepared for it. You need to not be in denial. You need to accept the reality. You need to know that elections, for the most part, are accompanied by violence because it's different people who are looking for something and they are all hell bent on, for the most part, wanting to get that by hook or crook, by any means, to be able to get what they want, especially not for Gambia. And for this year, we are coming through a post-dictatorship election where democracy is just reigning in Gambia. People just started to enjoy it and people are misinterpreting it. People don't understand it. Unless we pray to God, the way things are going is very scary. What would hamna lobopa antan. Violence is cooking. Tribalism is spewing. Nepotism. There are so many things that are happening that are signs of violence to Europe, but it's the last thing we want to do. We have a responsibility to make sure that we support the people and encourage them to remain peaceful, to remain vigilant, to know ne deka bi ñun ñepp ko bokka. Election come and go, the country stays. Youssoufa Ndour ak Nabiya ñoo bokka jógee seen baara suñ defee anything ba yaaxa baara ak esew ñoom ñoo ko yëg at the end of the day. If any politicians make you do that, right now, if anything was to happen in the country, President Barrow is the safest person in Gambia. Do you guys believe that? Yes. He is the safest person. Moom moo gën a safe, moo gën a secure ñëpp. Su dara buggee xew su naree ñanga plane lañ ko indil, helicopter lañ ko indil Bill State House, dugal ko fa mu dem. Ci géej gi lañ ko dugal mu dem. He can easily be taken out of the country with his family and all his loved ones. He can be escorted out of the State House to wherever. Loolu du mën ak yow de. Du mën ak yow de. And li ma wax nag, I hope it makes sense to you guys. Let's not follow sentiments. Let's not follow sentiments. Let's not follow tribe. I don't believe in tribe. I said it on the video I did the other day because benn ñaar gaay jàppee ma ko. And mostly this comes from the UDP camp, by the way. You can command the tribalist lela. Man, su leen neexee. When I criticize UDP, they call me a tribalist. I don't mind. But I know I am not tribalist. My favorite niece, Rohi Damfa la tuda. Sose. Suma jarbaat, who I am responsible for everything about her. Suma doomi sister la. My sister has 3 kids that are Mandinka. Suma sister Siko Kimatopa is married to a Manjago. Suma Jarbadi, Gomez Lane Center. Gomez. Chiman Kumatopa Sikom. So I don't do tribalism. I have family members that are married to Fulas, Sarahulis, and even Sudut Mare Sach, you never know Boka Deka together. Seattle Bimanekani, I live with Mandinkas, I live with Fulas, I live with Jolas, I live with Manjago, Sarahulis. Farafenya Bimajuge, the same thing. Swin Kiri I saw it Kerbunjaka Road, our house. Some of you might have been there before. The house we are directly opposite is a fuller compound. Keria Jamil Jalo. The house on our left, Kamarakunda, Mandinka compound. The house on our right, Keri Luas, all type of head new fadeka. Musifa Bele Besabatelenje. So tribalism dafa amut place Gambia. And if I was tribalist, especially against Mandinkas, Almo Jamal Lel Bijam Mandinkol, Fondema Mandinka programu creatali. Fontena Alman Kachanka Mandinka cool Kenyoka. Ninga Mandinko konum fombe sonale alje Mandinka kuo kijang. Ninga Mandinko konum te sonna wala. For albe kure knowledge. Fonte Fangolemal encourage and I work with you and supported you and I give you my blessing on anything that you guys want to do. So ni sita I can command wala I hakilo danta wolto. And I'm not moved by it and we will continue to do what we do. But we will continue to criticize the UDP like we will criticize the APRC, like we will criticize DOI, like we will criticize or bring out the facts for the APRC, GDC, GNC, all of them. But what happens is if political parties think that what you are saying is contrary to what, Nyom Bugadega, they end up labeling you. Because we as Gambians, for the most part, we don't have substance. Limawa is not something I'm scared to say. That's why I'm saying it. I know we are live and I'm saying it. And that's why I did an independent live video a couple of days ago on Sunday to say that Sunjeka Bisutake, Kitime election B, is UDP and NPP. And that is something I stand by unless and until they change their ways. Both parties are very eager and hungry to be in power. And by all means are doing everything possible. And it's not okay. The Gambia belongs to all of us. They are not the only two parties in the country. Yes, they are the biggest parties who stand a better chance of winning the election. And that is why they are too focused on that. Too focused on that. They both think they are entitled to rule the Gambia. And it's not anybody's birth-given right. Whether it is Khalifa Sallah, whether it is Adama Barrow, whether it is lawyer Usainu Dabo, whether it is Fabaka Tomongjata, it's nobody's birth-given right to be president of the Gambia. And this is a fact. So we need to be very careful. As journalists, we have a responsibility. As a media platform, we have a responsibility to tell the Gambian people what is happening. So I can see it not happening. Election comes. For the next few weeks, some of you don't show up. You are betraying yourself. Feke molen sibole. You are betraying yourself. You are betraying your and that you will not go far. So feke ne lulunga bugadef. It doesn't matter what type of show you do, Nak. You should be able to link it with what is happening currently as journalists. Whether you are doing a history show, as Kadi Toure's or like Chosan show as Kadi Toure's Akakeno Nyaming. Where I've been to Bafula Leko Unka Kuno Nimbileke. Ha Antela Programo Manke Politikoti, Honey, Mariam Fati. Link it, entertainment is what you will claim. Ha Antem entertainment. It affects you. It affects those in the entertainment industry. Yeah, Sheikh will say, oh, religion tell Batunga Quran o karang adua mole. Boom and fufu. It's all linked. It's all intertwined. We need to be out in the field when we do this reporting. We cannot be dressed sharp like Ya Sheikh and his white bedala isah muweh. Mashallah. It's a good feeling, but not when you're going out for into the campaign trail, not when you're going out to report what is happening. If any violence happen, we don't pray for it. We don't want it. We are not supposed to advocate for it. We are not supposed to spew it. We are not supposed to champion it. We are not supposed to be part of it. But we are supposed to show the people what happened. And we should be able to do it and do it on time. So we need to turn on our radars. I have asked you guys the last time, and I just remember. I said we are not going to have any more class if none of you remembers what turning on your radar means. And I said, what is radar? The acronym radar. Can I hear it? Any of you have the word radar? I've said it, and I said we should write it down. Let the person take the mic. Whoever wants to talk can take the mic. Okay.
The definition is radar is a tool used to scan stuff. Hello?
Okay, I'm ready.
Yep. And to break it down, like R stand for recognize, A assist, the other R is read, the other A is approach, and the last R is review.
Okay, any other try? Any other try? Any other try? Any other try? So none of you.
Mr. Josena wants to try.
Okay.
The first R stands for recognize. The second one is assess. D stands for detect. A approach, and R is review.
Okay. Any other try? Any other try?
Mr. Joof,
It's
Bintu. The radar, the R is to recognize, and the A is to access. D is detect and to approach, and the other R is to review or evaluate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any more person wants to try? Where is Ida?
I want to try.
Go ahead.
Okay. R accurate, A, and approach access, and to recognize the place you go and the situation.
The radar is RADAR, Aminata. RADAR. So what does
Okay,
the first R stands for?
The first R, recognize, and the other R, A, approach.
Okay.
D,
D.
detected. A, access.
Okay.
R, accurate.
Accurate doesn't start. R doesn't start with accurate. The accurate is A.
Other R.
Yes, the
Okay,
last R. The last
it's
R.
mixed up.
The last
The
R.
recognize.
Thank you very much. Where's Ida? Where's Ida?
Ida.
Where's Ida?
Ida is coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
How you want to say something?
Which hour?
Who is holding the mic, huh?
Our child. No.
No, okay. Okay. So you got it. And I'm glad that you are able, some of you are able to write this down. When I have a class, I want you guys to take it seriously. Yeah, Sheikh was calling me and I heard the phone ringing and I was like, oh my God, who is doing this? I was getting pissed because Mangi won Chidigi Nelau. I am very tired. I didn't sleep yesterday. I was very, very tired. But when I saw his calls multiple times, I eventually picked up the call. Buguma dog suma nelawi di leen jangal kal karandi andi malena jangal jelu leen ko seriously. You don't write things down, you don't remember them. If all of you don't remember, at least let some of you remember it. And I appreciate those of you who remember because you wrote things down. So it's very important to be writing things down. And I will appreciate if we continue doing that. Is Ida around?
She's not around.
Not yet. Okay. Well, I appreciate the four of you who tried. Just like it is usually said or we heard that, well, pour janaza, ni mo fata kata bade, kasalama, wala ay tobaske korite, there are certain things in Islam that they say is not obligatory to everyone. Once some people do it, abota mo be kunna. Wacha na siko ñeneen ñi yep. So in this case, the four of them who tried actually rescued all of you because I meant it. I would have discontinued the class because I'll feel that I'm wasting my time to teach you guys. So you can see that the things I teach you will continue to come up as we proceed because the courses I'm teaching you, the lessons I'm giving you are interconnected. And some of these technical terms and stuff will continue to come up. So it's definitely important that whenever you come here on Wednesdays and Fridays, you bring along your book every day, matter of fact, because in fact, you can come and we can have an emergency meeting. You can come and a situation can warrant us to have a discussion, or you can come and you are going for coverage and you are hearing some technical terms that are going to be used for you, either by your fellow journalists or otherwise, because journalism have every field have what is called a register. Do you know what the language register is? Language register. We can write it down. Language register. It is the set of words that are used by a particular discipline terminologies that are used. For example, you say scientific terms. They have words that they use in science. They have names for it. Every sector have their own language register. That's what you should write down. Every sector have their own language register. Every sector, including journalism or media. That's why there are a lot of things that you guys hear when you come here. Where's the external hard drive? Where's the memory card? Where's the yard stream? Where's Sling Studio? Where's this? Where's that? We have certain terms that we use. We have certain words that we use here as journalists. We talk about following due diligence, right? We talk about the ethics of journalism. There are certain things that are related to journalism that when you come here, you know about. When we talk about the studio, we talk about the tripod. When we talk about the mixer, when we talk about the Sling Studio, we talk about the internet and different things. So it's very important that we know our own register, the language that we should be using as journalists. That's why we use things like supposedly, allegedly, like I said earlier, from reports we've gathered, what experts tell us, etc., etc. So we have our own language register that you need to familiarize yourself with when you use, when you are acting as a journalist. You cannot just come and say, oh, taxi driver at Westfield hit somebody and killed them when the incident just happened. Allegedly, supposedly should be used from the reports we gather, from preliminary investigations, what we are told. So you need to know these technical terms to be able to use them. So ko xamute do ko musa utilize. Loolu la Olof Njaay di wax waxtu bu nekk ma wax leen ko ne loo doonu taalibeem doo musa doon sëriñam. I manke fango fenn taalibooti inente kela moroti. So we need to use our radar. It's either still here or not yet. It's either here or not yet. Did anyone call her at all?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So we need to be able to use our radar. And as our champ said, I was going to say, as to call when she just gave the first definition, instead of breaking it down, I thought I said to Kolia Saune to go to Google. She went to Google to look for that. She's Madam Google now. Hmm? Hmm?
I'm here.
Who are the 4 people that tried earlier? Who gave me radar? Give each of them $25 is for me either. That's their price for trying.
Bintu. It's one who?
From the office. Give them $25 is each. Their fare for today is on me. Aminata Dabo, you get it all mixed up, but just for trying, you will still have it. Aminata, even though you didn't get it right, but just for trying, you get it right. Okay? So it's good to make effort sometimes, and that's why you are still rewarded. Just for trying, you are still being rewarded. So all of you should take this serious.
Yes.
Yes. And our champ, thank you for opening the door. If none of them tried, nobody else tried, then no ebe kemole soto lao. Don't know ebe kemole soto lao. But they did it to you. Hmm? So we continue to use our radar. When I say our radar, means opening your eyes. I said it, I broke it down when I told you a few minutes ago that we are supposed to be the eyes and the mouth and the ears of the people. That's exactly what we need to do. That is the same as using our radar. Our radar is to be able to assess the situation. We need to recognize that something is happening. That's the first R. We've said it earlier, to recognize that something is happening. And it is connected to our 5 W's and the H. Okay? Huh?
Is that you?
Huh?
Yeah. I gave them the money.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Right? Do Rocky harbem li munan I wanna try. Fehe correct. Nyaka jom. And wait a minute. So is it only the ladies that equally tried? Yeah, Sheikh, what's going on? Hmm? Did you skip class that day? See, this is why the ladies, me, man, my ladies in your far. Hmm? Anyway, so we need to use our radar. We need to use our radar, which is to be able to recognize that something is happening. That's the first thing. We don't run into danger, but we run out of danger. We need to first recognize that something is happening. After we recognize it, then we assess the situation. We assess the situation. If we assess the situation to see, okay, what is happening? Why is it happening? When it's happening? Remember, we have our 5 Ws and H, right? Still talking about language register. Our 5 Ws and H are part of our register as journalists, right? So we assess the situation using our 5 Ws and the H. What is happening? Why is it happening? Where is it happening? Who is making it happen? How is it happening? All the W's and the H, we ask those questions to ourselves or to people to be able to assess our next course of action, which is the determination part, and that's where the D comes in. Memona Jajo, are you here? What did I just say? Use the word. Use your word. Use the mic.
You said we should use the radar to assess and know what is happening and observe.
Yo, one pack more tital khana. Anyway, yes, we determine what the next course of action is. When we recognize that there is something happening, we assess the situation using our 5 Ws and H. Then we determine what our course of action would be. That's the D. We determine what action we are going to take. Right? Then after that, we act. So all of you is act or action. Take action. That's the A. Is to act or to take action. So is read or recognize, assess, determine, take action, and then review. Write it down. If you didn't know this before, write it down because it will keep coming up. I want you guys to read between the lines. I want you guys to use your radar in everything you do. Whether here as journalists or outside, whatever we do, we are supposed to use our radar. We are supposed to be proactive. We are supposed to have our ears open to be listening to what is happening. We are supposed to have our eyes open to serve as the voices of the people. We are supposed to be the mouthpiece of the people. So we need to use our radar. We read or recognize. We assess the situation to determine what our next course of action will be. And eventually, we review and analyze. We review and analyze. Have we all written it down? I will ask for this again. It is going to continue to come up in our conversations. And I will hate to ask it and nobody can remember. But these things that I teach you, these principles, are important not only even here, but in your personal life. Nid wata diga tellek na mataga damana. Imanya na femwela drunk parao ika katita. You should be able to be patient to look at the situation, analyze it, before you can actually make a determination. Before you can make a determination as to what course of action you should take. So election year is coming. We are in election year rather, and we are expected to be participating in it. There would be campaigns by different political parties. We are supposed to show the Gambian people to help them make that informed decision. Those of you that sat down here, maybe the conversation, what you call him, Aminata Dabo said she wasn't going to vote. Maybe with this conversation we had, that's going to convince you to vote now, right? Are you going to vote or you still haven't decided? You still, Aminata? You will think about it. Okay, fair enough. Just know that if you don't vote, ibe fanne balikang ila nyantola drong, ila right. And it's very, very important because what happens in the next 5 years, what happens to you, what happens to me, what happens to my kids, your future family, is all part of it. Membe keno lambela, nyisanji lurunala, and even after that, because Yaya Jammeh was here 22 years, we are still dealing with the loss and the things that Yaya Jammeh did while he was here. Jawara is gone, was here for 30 years and left, and he is no longer alive. May his soul rest in peace. We are still dealing with the residues of Jawara's governance. Nkonga Falele, yesterday when I was having my show, and I think I've said this before to you guys, that do you know that every Gambian, including Altol Melbe Sirinje, you owe $25,000 is Julole Bekangula, Albe Olon Nekodi. Did I say this to you before?
Yes.
Yes. Albe, you each owe $25,000 is. Nga dunia mol o men. Faltol de okodo domal. Yes. This is debt that our governments took on our behalf. From Jawara to Yaya Jammeh. And now Adama Barrow. Huh? Are you talking to me, Bintu? Yes, so each of us owe $25,000 that we haven't eaten. Do you know where it went? So it's very important that we take advantage of these things. It's very important that we focus and make things. Yes.
Sorry, light is off, so I am just changing the speakers, so they are not hearing you. Just a minute.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, I just fixed the speaker, but it's not.
So can they hear me?
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, so all of this light, we've seen the storm that happened yesterday. We've seen lights, lack of electricity in the country, how it's going on and off in Bakso's words, how light is going on and off. And we all know this is not what's supposed to happen. Where I live here, light doesn't go off here. Killing, I think it's not more than 2 or 3 times. I've been in America 17 or 18 years. The times that I encounter light going off in America, Amanta Mbisinya Sabananila, in all the places I live, and it could be as a result of this thing. In 18 years, I'm telling you, it's not a joke. And it went off for not more than 5 minutes. It's back up. Not more than 5 minutes. It's back up. In 18 years. That's the same thing I want for you. That's the same thing. Lafita men nambama ani mokotengol. So nkanyi memfale tengli male na wakal ni is not for me. For the most part. Do I want to settle for that? No. Light going on and off. These are the same reasons why we should vote. And vote for the right person who have the policies to improve our energy sector, our electricity. I mean, bring us renewable energy, we have the responsibility to make sure that we are making the right decision about our lives, our future, and the people that we deal with. So when we go out for election coverages, we should have our radars on. We should make sure that we are on the alert. We should make sure that we are looking for signs of violence. As journalists, we can be targets. It can target, then you target as journalists because then you hate, then you JP. Sometimes even for being Gambian talents alone is trouble. Do you know that? Just being on GTTV alone is trouble. Maybe you JP. If any member of NPP or UDP watches my video and hear me say that Sudekabita Kenyo Kotal, they would not like that. What makes you think if they see you there at their event covering it, some of the militants will not act otherwise? Again, the person that is going to want to hurt you as a journalist is not going to be the party leader. It's not going to be the executive maybe. It's going to be the militants who are obsessed with these people, who are so, I'm focused on uh, 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 glorifying and taking them as demigods. And as a result, they don't want to change anything, and they can hurt you if you don't mind, if you are not careful, if you don't have your radar on. But you are supposed to be watchful and be willing to follow what we teach you. If you follow the steps and the process and the procedure that we are going to teach you or we have taught you before, that we are going to have a refresher course on how to cover this type of events, certainly you will be safe for the most part and nothing will happen to you and you will give the public the type of information that they deserve. It's not supposed to be sugar coated, and it should not be for also for you to pick and choose. I am saying this because you might be NPP and though a rally happen and you are supposed to go cover that rally, you said you are not gonna go because it's there. You are not supposed to be only focused on UDP because it will look at the Makin study. You because of that you're gonna go to the UDP ambience. Or you're gonna go to APRC because they are the ones who only provide music or whatsoever. We are not supposed to be going to a particular political party only to their activity and not go to others. As a journalist, you are supposed to be fair and balanced, and you should be willing and ready to go to any of these places to participate in whatever it is that they have going on. Whether it's a rally, whether it's a press conference, whether it's a meeting, it's a dinner, it's a fundraising activity, or even voting. Yashir asked earlier, the registration process. All the political party leaders went to register. This is something that we could have inquired. This is something that we should have been able to cover. But because a lot of you guys don't know probably this, uh-huh.
We are not hearing you.
Really?
Yeah, the speaker is not working. The light has gone off, and the volume is.
Okay. Well, any question, comment, or concern, then let me hear from you guys. I can hear you folks, but let me hear from you guys. Can we now have a review? We've been here for 1 hour 48 minutes, and I was about to even wrap up. So let me hear from folks now. Let's have a discussion. What have we talked about so far? Yeah, Sheikh, did I touch on your question?
Yes.
Any of you talking can use the mic, please.
Okay. Wait.
Go ahead. All of you can talk. Let's have a discussion now for the next 15 minutes. Let's have a discussion about the election, and I will be glad to answer any question. And one of you can paraphrase what I said if all of you cannot hear me.
Okay. You said we can talk about election. If you have any question about
Okay, Nabia.
Mr. Ju dama la bëgg a laajte parce que nga ne taw bi nga ne ñu nga ñu si taw comme time taw léegi nga ne comme loolu warta stop ñu ngi liggéey comme su nekkee ne comme ñëw ne ñu génna tombe mu ngi taw te that time ñu ngi si biti te fuñ nekk dafa war a lii bi dina tooy mun na ñoo stop liggéey bi ñu génna ñu dem foo xam ne du bem sebet ñu continuer waat liggéey bi loolu lay laaj.
Yes. Again, or it comes back to using your radar. That's what I said before, and that's what I was going to say. Every situation you find yourself in, you are supposed to assess the situation. You read and recognize the situation that something is happening. You read the situation, you assess it. It comes back to the same thing, Nabia, which is assessing the situation to see to read that likat mungine kadi demeni, and we take care of it. Twitter obviously expect to makenne kasi bir taw bi di liggéey. That's not what I am saying. Camera si bom dañoo yaaxu. Did I buy gadgets camera lifin ñu ngi amee special mbuus or whatever it is that I bought to protect the cameras. I have them to protect the cameras. Démba rek Fatou wax na ma ne génnee na leen, and I think she gave it to some people that are either going to the provinces or need to go to the provinces. We have a couple of them. Now, with the amount of cameras we have, do we have enough? No. But we should be able to use our radar. So, I mean, obviously, and that's where using your radar comes in. Limalena wahni, same personal life, that again common use. So, obviously, yangi tech mic, yangi tech tripod, yangi tech limungi. Honestly, you need to start wrapping up that interview or move it indoor. Or using your radar still means, so guy set up sa cameras, you are supposed to have a nice interview outdoors. Nga gis ne mu ngi xiin suma doon yow ñu dugal bagage si biir, and you have an indoor interview instead of having it outdoors. So you are supposed to be the one to use this. If it is raining, start packing up your things. You need to consider your safety and security. And one terminology we have that as part of our language register, and I want you guys to write it down. No story is worth your life. Write it down. No story is worth your life. Waxoon naa leen ko bi ma leen a jàngal affaire yi, how to cover riots and demonstrations and stuff. I've taught you guys. No story is worth your life. But that is vague. And when we have another class, I would wish one of you to ask me, what do I mean by that, so that we can break it down further for all of you. No story is worth your life. Right? But then you need to be able to assess the situation, to use your radar to assess the situation and determine what course of action to take at the end of the day. But no story is worth your life, certainly. So I hope that helps, Nabia.
Yes.
Okay. Next question, comment.
Our child.
Okay, Awa.
Mr. Joof, I don't have any question.
Well, what question, comments, concern? You must learn something. What did you learn in the class then?
Yeah. Okay. I've learned that as a journalist, we should be independent.
Okay. We talked about independence today, right? I always say it. I always talk about independence. Did we talk about independence today?
Yes, Mr. Joof, you talk about independence, and also journalists should be professional. That to act to dig story and tell it to the public without any fear and balance, without any fear and favor.
Yes, these are all part of the ethics of journalism. There are 5 cardinal principles and ethics of journalism, which we have talked about before, and all of you have watched the videos, I would believe, especially the newer interns. But being fair and balanced without fear or favor, affection or ill will, this is a technical term that we use all the time. So independence is another key cardinal part of it. You should be independent and fair and without favor. Okay. Next person.
Thank you.
Next person.
Okay, what have I learned is that as a journalist, you need to be the eye of the public, the mouth of the public, and the ear of the public.
Okay, good one. So when we say you are the mouth of the public, let me hear from you, Aminata. What do that mean? What does that mean?
Yes,
When you are the mouth of the public, what does that mean?
mouth of the public.
Mm-hmm.
Like when things happening in the country, as a journalist, you should not sit. You have to go outside and be the mouth of the public so that they can hear the story from you.
Okay. Yeah, so even in your neighborhood and your area, if you see anything happening there, you owe it to the institution. So put this down, write it down. If you know it has happened, if you know it has
If you
happened,
know it has happened.
yes. If you know it has happened, if you know it has happened, if you know it is happening, if you know it's about to happen, you should tell. You should tell. This should be a slogan. This should be something that should be in each of you guys' at the back of your mind. If you know it has happened, if you know it is happening now, or it is about to happen, you have a responsibility to share with the public. Always. If you know it has happened, if you know if it is happening, if you know it will be happening in the future, you should share it with the public. So some of you pass things all the time. You pass things all the time without saying, without telling anyone, without acting on it. And you will be betraying your trust if you do that as journalists. You are betraying your trust.
Is Mr. Junto? If you know it has happened, if you
If
know
you
it's
know it
happening,
has happened, if you
happening.
know it is happening now, if you know it will happen in the future, you need to report it. Yes. That tells you what should we report. What has happened, what is happening now, or what may be happening in the future. That's what you should
Yes.
report. What has happened, what is happening now, what may be happening in the future is what you should report.
Hello?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm at the Yodo.
Okay.
What I have learned is that we should maintain peace and security as a journalist. We are the servant and the voice of the people. We should not be biased to any, like, for example, the election is coming, so we should not be biased to any political party. As a journalist, like, what will for the political party to fight for another political party? We should be independent. Yeah, that's what I learned.
Yes, so key on your thing is the key message there that I'll do is what you started with, which is we are supposed to be uh, custodians of peace. Ñun ñoo war a make sure ne fitna bum jóg ci dëkk bi. We should not be the cause of destabilizing the country. Instability in the country, we should not be the cause of it. So anything that can jeopardize the peace of the country, we have a responsibility to
Okay.
be away from that. And that includes hate speech, tribal
What?
diamo, hate
Fake
speech,
speech. Okay.
hate speech.
Hate speech.
Yes. Ka
Okay.
kudo fo modo ma me alonko asa mari kamfandi no le fafana act. Ka mo banning sagande nit. Has nganya nit. Hetam ci limboka. Ye mona la kabilo wala bonsongo neng. Memba tina la retaliate, memba tina la le dunyola. So hate speech should be avoided to the best of our ability. You should not be championing it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. I have understand that the journalism and journalists and activists are not the same.
Right.
But what I wanted to ask is, can a journalist be an activist at the same time?
Not while you are doing your journalism work. A journalist can be an activist, yes. And I can tell you, I'm an activist. Even over here in Seattle, I run the Gambian Talents Promotion and actually the Washington West African Center that actually provides a lot of advocacy. We are doing a lot of advocacy work on several issues. Right now, we are advocating for the vaccine campaign for people to get vaccinated. That's advocacy work. We want people to get vaccinated so that we all go back to our normal this thing. But when I am wearing my journalism cap, I'm not an advocate. So a journalist can be an an activist, yes, but there should be distinction. You should be able to distinguish it. There should be a fine line. I deal with people from across all spectrum. When I came out 2 days ago, I live here in Seattle. I'm serving the Seattle community. They are the ones I work for. The West African in Seattle are the ones I'm working for. That's my full time now. And it is what I do. But when I wear the journalism cap, when I stood on the platform to say that UDP and NPP should dekabita Kenyo Kotal, I wasn't an activist at the time. This was Pa Usman, the journalist, talking. When I sit down to interview my Ahmed Fati, this is Pa Usman interviewing my Ahmed Fati, the journalist. When I interview lawyer Usain Udabo, this is Pa Usman, the journalist, interviewing lawyer Usain Udabo. Forget any other thing. Am I going to use my activism, regardless of whether I agree with somebody or not, to punish them because I'm an activist? I mean, I use my as a journalist? No. So to answer your question, a journalist and this thing can be a journalist can be an activist, but they are not going to happen at the same time. Does that make sense? Okay. Next question, comment, concern.
Ok monsieur Joof man li may jàng mooy comme journaliste da nga war a nekk kàddu askan gi ñi nga xam ne amuñu possibilité pour wax yow da nga leen a war a waxal.
Yes, very good one. li ma wax rek yaay baati nit ñi yaay seen nopp yaay seen gémmiñ yaay seen bët yaay seen bët yaay seen gémmiñ yaay seen nopp base.
Yes. I
So
don't have
man,
a concern, but my takeaway message is that anytime that we given out information, we should make sure that we use terms that terms like allegedly, supposedly from experts or from what we've had, because you don't know exactly what really happened. But anytime that you're giving it to the public, you should be able to use those words for references.
I would say not anytime you are talking to the public you should use those words
Yeah.
if that is where the situation we find ourselves in. But if
Okay.
you know for fact ne lii moo xew loolu moo xew, if you are sitting in a court of law and a court determined that so and so person Alaji Ba raped Musa Ida Sow based on evidences,
and the court determines that, you are not supposed to use allegedly, because the court has actually convicted the person for rape. But if the case is under investigation, if nothing is determined, if we don't know all the facts, we should still be able to use allegedly. Allegedly. Okay. Because for a typical example is when we sit and the case that happened in Kanilai. There is no competent court of law that determined that is the people of Kanilai who beat or tortured the UDP people. Did it happen in Kanilai? Yes. Do we know those people exactly? Until the court convicts them. We see them, we see their videos. But we should be able to use words like allegedly and otherwise in those situations. Right?
Yes.
Until we are sure of it. If you stand there and you are a witness to it,
Yes.
Wow. So togon ngay romba nga gis Yusufa Ndour di ray loxo Mariama Faty bi. Ya ko gis. Dang ko wax. Ne Yusufa mu ngi ray loxo Mariama bi. Lolu nga gis, lolu nga fekke. Li nga gis exactly nit lo pour use alleged. So asaman bi don wacca sax. Ani sangole jital. Ni Yusufa ya bulo mosi, afu Yusufa la bulo mos. Right? To de lolu nga gis. Li nga gis rek lolu nga wara wax. Li nga diga lolu nga wara wax. Ni ko gisee ni ko digi. So if you are a witness, there is no need to use those things. But today luñ la netali la. Waxal ne dañ ñu ko netali wala liñ ñu wax wala liñ dégga wala liñ gis. Liñ suñu gestu may. Right? I've not been hearing you guys using it nak, and you've been going for different coverages. But duma de dégga ngeen wax ko. In fact, I've had people go to the worst to say, "Hay kiñ ray bu tumbala." Madam ki miñ ray bu tumbala. By a court. But thank you, Zainabu. That's a good one.
Okay, Mr. Joof, this is Yusufa Ndour.
Yusufa, I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me?
I cannot hear you, Yusufa.
Now, can you hear me?
I cannot hear you.
That's all right. I'll do something.
Whatever is going on, is the mic off?
Not really. No.
Too bad and unfortunate. I still cannot hear Yusufa anymore. Our technicians, use your radar. I cannot hear Yusufa.
Hello, now can you hear me?
Yusufa?
Yes. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I
Okay.
can hear you now.
Okay. What I've learned today is like, as a journalist, you need to you actually need to dig the truth, dig out the truth from the trust and seek it out and tell the fact.
Rocky me, Rocky. Rocky me, Rocky. Yes, we need to dig the truth and make sure that we give the public the truth.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Joof,
Okay.
I have a question to ask. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
It's with regards to this election coverage, because when, for example, when campaign begins, it's obvious that we are going to cover the campaigns at different places. So I'm asking whether is the institution going to provide maybe something that we could use when we go up there, they could recognize that these are the press, because when it comes to such coverages, it's sometimes very risky. So I'm suggesting maybe if the institution can provide maybe something that we can use to identify ourselves, maybe like a jacket or something else that when you wear it, they can see clearly that these people are the press. Probably the T-shirt is there, but maybe to me, maybe the logo might be not clear to somebody else, because we are in a very crucial stage, and this most of the time during this election coverages, the media workers are always targeted. So that is the suggestion I have.
You said you had a question, and eventually you said that's the suggestion for which it question or suggestion. Partnership.
It's a question.
Okay. So it's a very good point, and that's why I think it's important that you guys attend the classes that we teach. Who was here amongst you when we did the class on um, how to cover riots and demonstrations, emergency situations? Who was there? Who amongst you attended that class? Technician, take my image out of the screen. Take my image out of the screen. The technician, take my image out of the screen. So I asked a question. I said, who and who was present when we had the class on the cover demonstration? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, Mr. J, we get to hear from a distance.
Yes, I asked the question. I didn't hear anybody respond.
Hold on, light is just coming. We are figuring out.
Okay.
Sergio,
Yes.
can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Running the stream yard, can you take out the technician? Can you take my image off the screen and just leave the full screen of the people? You don't know how to do it? Call either for help. Okay. So I asked a question. I said, who and who were present when we had the class about how to cover riots, demonstrations, and emergency situations? Who among you was present?
No, I'm not.
None of you was present to that in the class? Huh? None of you were present? Well, we have had that class at least a couple of times. Serif Bojang Jr., the president of the Gambia Press Union, taught it one time, and the video is there, and I encourage all of you to watch it. And myself, the last time, a few months ago, I taught it myself. So we will do it again as a refresher. But I still want to encourage you to watch the class that was done by Serif Bojang Jr. And this is because I encourage you, is because Serif has been to the four corners of Africa doing coverages of these type of situations, including war zone areas. War zone areas. He has even covered war areas. He has covered pandemics like Ebola and them, and he shared his experience and what is expected. We will have that class again, hopefully next week. But to answer your question, Memuna, yes, we will provide those things. Even today, some items came. Most likely, jackets will be in there. We should have jackets in there, most likely. Not even most likely, there should be jackets in there that you can actually customize, that you can use. So we will provide you with the necessary training that if you follow it, for the most part, you will be safe, and not only will we provide the training, but next year, continue with training, continue with the class. Good luck to you.
Because you attend training summit and you don't follow what we teach you, good luck to you. But if you come to the class, you attend the trainings, and you follow what we tell you, in the manner we tell you, most likely you will be successful in covering the elections. So now against election day, on election day we are expected to go to most of the polling stations to do coverages of what is happening. So we will try to provide you with the maximum amount of tools, resources that you need to be able to get this thing done the right way. We don't have all the resources. We are appealing to the general public, especially those watching right now, to support us if they want to see exactly what is happening. If you guys are determined to do it, we will provide for you what we have, what we can afford. We will bring up in the most maximum way. Right?
Thank you.
Amimuna, so to answer your question,
No, no, no.
it doesn't answer it.
Yes.
Okay. Can you frame your question, then let me know what exactly your question is. Are you guys hearing me?
Yeah.
Well, if you are hearing me, I asked Maimuna Jaju if that answers her question. She said no.
I
I
said
said,
yes,
"Then
yes.
does it answer your question?"
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, Jaja.
Mr. Joof,
Yes, Jaja. What is funny? Okay, Nene.
I have learned that we should use our reader to be able to recognize what is happening.
Yes. And what do you do after you recognize what is happening?
You should follow your five doubles and H.
Well, you are expected to act. You are expected to act after you use your rider to determine what is happening. Your next course of action is to act. And this is subjective depending on where you are and what is happening. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. So the beginning of the class, by the time that the class was, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
But not
So
clear.
before the next person comes in, I want to say this. When Yashir called me about the class, only 4 people were here. Now we have more than 10 people, 15 people. So most of you are late, and it's not okay. It comes back to the same thing, whether it's covering election or whatever. I know we didn't start on time equally because when Yashir called me, I have to touch base with my staff. Staff will have to go to Badu. There are 2 things we needed to take care of. But it doesn't justify it. You guys are supposed to be here and to be here on time for the class. So those of you that are late, it's not okay. I want to emphasize it. Only 4 people were here when the class just started, and it's not okay. Okay? We are all supposed to be here and to be here on time. Next person.
Hazard. Give the mic.
Mr. Youth,
Uh-huh.
it's been
Okay.
okay. The truth might not be the fact. The fact might not be the truth.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you understand that to mean?
Huh?
What do you understand that to mean?
That's like sometimes someone might give you an information, and the information might not be the truth.
Okay. So which one are you
Huh?
supposed to worry about as a journalist? Which one is your focus? That
Your focus is the truth.
well,
Yeah, the fact here.
which one? The truth or the fact?
The fact.
You said your focus is the truth, and now you said it's the fact, which is with Binto.
Okay. The truth. You,
The truth or the facts?
Mr. You.
Look at the camera and tell us the truth or the fact.
Yeah, it's both, Mr. You. Both the truth and the fact.
You are the granddaughter of Safari Mansingati. You are a politician.
Mr. You, I'm not a politician.
Well, you said the truth, then you said the facts, then you said the both. Which is which?
Yeah?
You need to establish a position. The truth, the
Yeah.
both, which is which? Which is
Mr. You is, huh?
which is which?
The fact.
The fact or the truth? You said both. Then you said the fact. Then you said the truth. Did I say what? Did she not say all three of them?
Yeah.
Did she not say all three of
Yeah.
them?
Yes, I say the truth of them.
Okay, so now which is which? Which is which now?
Mr. You, Tonya wale nyanta kafinti.
Okay, Tonya le nyanta kafente. But in
Ha.
the beginning,
Ha?
we don't know Tonya until we establish the fact. It's the fact that leads or lead us to the Tonya.
Tonya, yeah.
Yes, so to start with is the fact. What we should be normal is the fact.
The fact,
And the
yeah.
fact will lead us to the truth eventually.
Yeah, okay.
The fact is to just stick to the facts that we have.
Yeah.
Because Tonya bukalong wanyama. Abuka da
Ha ha.
along. So ni fem fintita. Para mwe fem fwe ite kana woke tonyati.
Yeah,
Mwe
yeah.
mati na woke tonyati. So you need to follow it up to make sure that you get the facts. The facts
Yeah.
will lead you to the truth eventually.
Yes.
Okay. So which is which, the fact or the truth?
The fact.
Okay.
You have something.
Mr. Joof,
Okay.
like what Bindu says, when somebody tell you a story and you're not sure about it or it is true or not, you need to seek the truth from the trust and not the fact. Go make research or ask other people. That's my own Lola Mandola Gomdal.
So you separate the chaff from the wind. You still come
Exactly.
using your radar. More FM
Yes.
for anything that happen in this world, we need to use our radars. You
Yes.
able to reach your radar to determine kile ma wahlu am la wala amo. To pick it, am. And I'm saying this, I'm glad you say it. Some of you do interviews and you interview people that sit there and are telling you something. If you know what they are telling you is not true, you need to change it. You need to correct it. You have a
Yeah.
responsibility to tell the public. And let me give a typical example of our charm interviewing. She interviewed somebody that was told the girl to sing for Gambian talents, and the girl was singing and kept calling me Pa Usman, Pa Usman, Pa Usman. Eventually, our charm, Pa Mudu rather. Eventually, our charm did tell him, but our charm should have consistently reminded that person. I wanted to give you that feedback. You remember the Jali you interviewed that was singing for me? She keep calling me Pa Mudu, right? Koko dungo kome dara. Pa Mudu meron oye. He sang a very good song and was talking and singing. I watched it and it was good, but he kept calling me Pa Mudu. So you have a responsibility. If they say what is not true or factual, you have a responsibility to change it, to tell them that no, this is the fact. And in this case, my name is not Pa Mudu. So if your Jali says Pa Mudu, you said no Pa Usman. Pa Mudu, no Pa Usman. Pa Mudu, no Pa Usman, until he gets it, right? I eventually, like I said, you said it to him, but only once or twice. He sang Pa Mudu maybe 15, 20 times. And you told him Pa Usman only once or twice. I said it. I said you did tell him. Eventually you caught it. At first I saw you sitting there and he's singing Pa Mudu. Janni ba for about 5 minutes. He tulo te dron nebe hakilo kono. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But then it's good. Okay. That was a learning process for you. That's why we give you guys a platform. We allow you to make mistakes and you correct it. So that's deliberate. So it was a good thing. Hope you learn from it. When somebody is saying something that is contrary to what is right and you know the fact, put the facts in front of them. It doesn't matter how many times they do. Put the facts in front of them. If they insist, eventually you can let go. But put the facts in front of them. Right? Yes. Any question, comment, or concern? Manyan na sira je mo be tempola yalon ko nyimu fan yalti ibe derin tek ken warta to fen ga disni di warta lam oran fen na tok di ko setan. Yeah, Sheikh, then do you believe, based on what we have learned today, do you believe that being a journalist is a jihad? Do you believe that being a journalist is a jihad? Based on what we've said here, if journalists do it exactly on based on the way we said it, based on the principles, Katonya for Katonya Skatindi, Kisiroke, yes to make sure you don't hurt anybody, make sure you maintain peace, make
Hello.
sure that you are truthful and honest. If
Yes.
journalism is supposed to be, you are not condoning or participating or aiding and abetting any form of crime, any form of unpeaceful behavior, disrespectful behavior. This is what journalism is supposed to be. If that's the case, do you believe that being a journalist is a jihad?
Yes.
Okay, justify that.
He said. To justify that. Yeah, because you are making people's life, those who are in a problems. Sometimes somebody can stand between people and then castigate somebody, say something that is not the fact. Now, if you invite the other one, you invite the other one to come to the platform, and then the person can just clarify himself where he can set himself free. Understand? Sometimes also, like these disasters that are happening, also, we can go to different places to show people what is actually happening. Through that, people will be seeing what is happening, and many people used to get help from those things, like the way media houses used to do. Even Gambian talents and what's on Gambia and others. Many people are getting overseas treatment through that. So journalism, it depends on how you do your work. Anywhere you are, in my own opinion, anywhere you are, the work you are doing, you get the reward. You can get your route to the heaven through that work if you want. But if you don't want also, the job can lead you to another place else different from that. So based on this, um, I think it is positive enough.
Right. So what you just said, we have a young child who is here in America right now in Seattle getting treatment. I said it to you guys. She came here as a result of our efforts. We exposed her, we interviewed her and her mom, and they came. People saw it, and eventually they provided them with the support that they need. So, but thank you very much. Anybody else?
Okay.
Anybody else?
Okay, me, my last message is to tell you maybe your next class I'm not going to be available. I'm going for Tabaski.
We are going to tell us where.
Jara, my village.
Tate Juma.
Ah,
Jara Tate Juma.
Jara Bureng.
Correct.
Ah,
I
Bureng.
have I have a woman who
um loves me so much. Mba, mba,
Oh,
Binta Nanto.
what?
Mba
I'm
Binta.
not getting.
Hmm?
I'm not getting you.
I said I have a woman who loves me
Yes.
so much. Namusu Kebal Melvijang. In fact,
Ah.
every Friday, including today, she already left me a voice message praying for me and
Okay.
loves me so much. She is from Jarabure.
Okay.
Mhm. She's from the same village with you, Babinta.
Babinda what?
Nanto, we call her Nanto, Babinta Koli.
I don't know that one. Cool.
She's here in America, actually.
Okay.
But thank
Mr.
you.
Ju,
Uh-huh.
mfalankata abadi bulaya. What are you guys laughing? It's
Oh,
very funny.
okay. No, I don't want to hear it anymore. Can
They're all laughing.
take
Huh?
from you see, this is one thing. I'm glad you guys are saying this. It's not for you to wait until we have the class and we talked about this Fatuya Falele. You should be able to
Okay.
discuss these things with Fatu and them, and you should be able to Nambe Doku Kela Dulato. Wala Lakita Doku Kela Dulato. And this is training for all of you guys. I want you to encourage all of you to take communication very seriously.
Yes.
Communicate very seriously. Fatu la la bosti, Ida la la bosti. In a
Yes.
typical
So
environment,
communicate to Fatu.
you should have written this, have this in writing, and seek permission to be given the opportunity to go. I'm not saying that people are not going, but I'm encouraging all of you to be communicating these things and talk to the institution. Not a regular doku and but if this was a regular doku, your boss may approve or disapprove your leave. So, new so Lakdal current in the future, put it in writing and request to go. On a normal day, you will be given the opportunity, no doubt. No more Lakdal Salola Isita Ngalo, Nemol Katarajane every year, and they go for October's key. It's understandable, it's key, right? But
Yeah.
then put it in writing or discuss it with your managers. And I will still recommend Alim Fatwi Akacha Alia Fayako. We will be going for Tobaski. It's not going to be any issue. That way, she will not be catering you or would not be factoring you as those that are going to be available for Tobaski or Tobaski coverage or road to Levenal or any of those things.
Yes.
Right?
Okay, no problem.
So
Thank you.
all of you that have things to do, don't just sit and not come because you think you can just do it and it works. That's not how things work in an institution, and it is the order of the day for the most part. Fatu said it. She made reference to yeah, Sheikh right there, Sheriff, the other day about how well he communicates. So all of you should get to that habit. Some of you, sometimes you come late. I'll talk to you not late. You just show up anytime you want because Fatu is not here and maybe either is busy or people are not holding you accountable somewhere or you're very busy and that might not be the immediate priority. Some of you take advantage of that and not show up to show up late. So make sure that you communicate and communicate well with the office because these are all the things that we look at when we make a determination to give promotion or give money or any other opportunity to the institution. We look at all of these things holistically, thereby hello, right? Any kind of question, comment, or concern? Very much.
Thank you.
Uh, Azal, I had your name been mentioned multiple times and you didn't talk. How comes?
You were busy talking, so.
I wasn't busy talking. I had your name been mentioned multiple times. I want to hear from you. How come you didn't say anything?
Yeah, you're not concentrating in the class.
I was enjoying.
Well, then how come you didn't say anything? It's a rule that whenever we have a class, everybody has to be able to say one thing that they learned or ask a question.
Okay.
You're waiting, boy, a young man.
Okay, Mr. Joof.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I understand that no story is worth a life.
Yes, that's key. See,
Yeah.
one of the biggest takeaway messages, no story is worth your life.
Yeah.
We'll put that down further, like I said, to people to ask me that question in subsequent discussions, and we will talk about it.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, you guys have a wonderful day. All right.